Welcome to Tech Dazzle. Today, we're diving into a subject that's been a staple of science fiction, yet is very much grounded in reality: cryogenics. Whether you're curious about the science of extreme cold, fascinated by the possibility of freezing yourself for a future revival, or simply want to know where you can find a cryogenic chamber near you, this video has it all. So grab a warm drink, because things are about to get chilly. Cryogenics, derived from the Greek words kryos for cold and genes for born, has its roots in the late 19th century. Initially, it wasn't about freezing people, but about discovering the properties of materials at extremely low temperatures. The pioneers of cryogenics were more interested in liquefying gases like oxygen and nitrogen than preserving human beings. A major milestone was reached in 1908 when Heike Kamerlingh Onnes, a Dutch physicist, first liquefied helium, plunging the temperature to a mere 4.2 Kelvin, just a smidgen above absolute zero. This is an amazing minus 452 degrees Fahrenheit. Fast forward to the 1960s, and the field took a sharp turn from materials science to life sciences. The idea of cryogenically freezing a human body to be thawed and revived at some distant point in the future began to take hold. The very first individual to be cryopreserved was Dr. James Bedford in 1967. While he remains in a frozen state to this day, the scientific community is still debating whether he'll ever be revived. That's a question we'll explore later in this video, so stick around. The cutting edge of cryogenics today involves a blend of advanced materials, science, robotics, and yes, even artificial intelligence. Modern cryogenic chambers are not the clunky ice-cold metal boxes you might imagine. Companies like MVE Biological Solutions are producing sleek, high-tech storage systems that look more like they belong in a sci-fi movie than in a lab. AI is playing a role too, particularly in monitoring and maintaining the extremely low temperatures required for cryopreservation. For instance, Alcor uses AI-driven systems to ensure their cryogenic chambers remain stable, mitigating the risk of any temperature fluctuations that could damage the preserved bodies. But let's not forget about the practical applications of cryogenics today. Aside from medical uses, cryogenics is also crucial in space exploration. NASA utilizes cryogenic technology to store and transport rocket fuels like liquid hydrogen and oxygen. It's an essential part of getting spacecraft off the ground and hopefully one day taking us to Mars. As with any advanced technology, cryogenics comes with its pros and cons. On the plus side, cryopreservation has already proven its value in medical fields. It's saving lives, enabling future fertility, and helping scientists preserve biological materials for research. However, when we venture into the territory of cryonics, freezing whole human bodies, the waters get murkier. The biggest pro? The potential to cheat death and live in a future era. The biggest con? We simply don't know if it's ever going to work. The science of reviving a cryogenically frozen human is, at best, theoretical and, at worst, science fiction. And then there's the cost. Freezing your body with Alcor, for example, starts at a cool $200,000, while preserving just your brain will set you back $80,000. At the Cryonics Institute, the price is more affordable, $28,000 for whole body preservation. but you'll need to factor in membership fees and other costs. It's a significant investment in a highly uncertain outcome. If you're considering cryopreservation for medical reasons, there are several facilities around the world where you can have tissues or cells stored. CryoLife, as mentioned earlier, is a leader in the field. For reproductive purposes, the New York Fertility Institute offers egg and embryo cryopreservation, with costs ranging from $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the services. For cryonics, as discussed, the most prominent organizations are Alcor and the Cryogenics Institute in the US. Prices are steep, and it's worth noting that most insurance companies do not cover cryonics, so plan on paying out of pocket or through a life insurance policy specifically set up to fund your cryonic preservation. Now, let's get to the part that everyone's been waiting for, freezing yourself today in the hope of being reanimated tomorrow. The concept of cryonics is as alluring as it is controversial. Imagine being frozen at the moment of death, preserved in a state of suspended animation, and then brought back to life when the cures for your ailments are discovered, or when aging itself has been defeated. This isn't just fantasy. As of 2024, over 200 people have been cryogenically preserved at Alcor, with another 2,000 signed up for future preservation. The Cryonics Institute boasts similar numbers. However, the big question remains, will it work? The science behind cryonics involves cooling the body to a temperature where metabolism essentially stops. But there's a catch: ice crystals can form in the body's cells, causing damage that might make revival impossible. To combat this, cryonics organizations use a process called vitrification, where chemicals are used to prevent ice formation. It's like turning the body into glass, preserving it in a solid state without the damaging effects of ice. But, and it's a big but, no one has yet been revived from cryogenic suspension. It's a field filled with promise, hope, and more than a little bit of speculation. And that's where the debate lies. Are you willing to bet on a future that may or may not come? If you're intrigued by the idea, both Alcor and the Cryonics Institute offer memberships that allow you to sign up for future cryonic preservation. The process involves a thorough legal and medical examination, as well as financial planning to ensure that your preservation can be funded. It's not for everyone, but for those willing to take a leap of faith, it's the ultimate gamble on the future. So, where does that leave us? Cryogenics is a field brimming with potential, from saving lives today through cryopreservation to the tantalizing, albeit uncertain, future of cryonics. Whether you're looking to freeze cells for medical purposes, exploring the cost of cryogenic freezing, or considering a one-way ticket to the future through cryonics, the world of cryogenics is as fascinating as it is complex. As always, we've included links to all the services and products mentioned in this video down in the description. If you're curious to learn more, or perhaps even take the plunge into cryogenic preservation yourself, be sure to check them out. Thank you for joining us on this frosty journey through the world of cryogenics. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to TechDazzle, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future deep dives into the world of tech. Until next time, stay curious and stay cool. Here is more video that you might find interesting. Thank you again for visiting TechDazzle.